Jaylen Brown wins the finals MVP, which is kind of sneaky. I know there was a lot of talk about this where who's the leader, who's the best player on the team. Jayson Tatum is still the best player on the team. He's always going to get your best defender. And as a result, I thought Jaylen Brown stepped up. And by stepping up, it felt like he stood out, and therefore he won the MVP. The team still revolves around Jayson Tatum. It's rare to have a championship team when your two best players play the same position. It doesn't happen. Normally you have your guard and your big man. Maybe you have a guard and a small forward, but you don't have two threes there, two small forwards. But Boston was able to do it. And go back a couple of years when they weren't winning the title. They were getting there. They weren't winning it. Oh, you got to blow it up. You're going to have to get rid of Jaylen Brown. What could you get for Jaylen Brown? But Jaylen Brown played great. It feels like he played above what people thought, therefore he was more valuable. Jayson Tatum was wonderful last night. And if you look at the numbers, I mean, those are impressive numbers. Those are historical numbers when you're looking at the Boston Celtics. But Jaylen Brown, the finals MVP, Tatum had 31, 11, and 8. The first Celtic to have those numbers in an NBA Finals game since Larry Bird in 1986. And he averaged 25, 10, and 6 for the postseason. No, not yet. Paul Pierce and Larry Bird are the only other players who have done that for the Celtics.
Woo! Ow! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! This is the stat of the day!
I was waiting for something with the Mavs last night, and I think that they basically gave you everything they had in Game 4. Boston's the better team, deeper team. And really, if you look at how it's constructed, you have to go back with some moves that were made. And the most valuable player for the Celtics might have been Dame Lillard, because Dame Lillard goes to the Bucks. The Bucks make Drew Holiday expendable. Holiday fills in whatever the gray area was for Boston this year. You had Al Horford in there. They picked up Kristaps Porzingis. Washington didn't want him. They had to pay part of his salary to send him to Boston. I mean, there's so many things that happen. Derek White trade with San Antonio. There's a Division II player. You pick him up and you're like, okay, this guy's pretty good. That guy, he plays hard. So you have to have those players. It's just like Denver last year. I can have Joker and Jamal. I got to have the other players. You can't win a championship with just two players, two stars. You must have those guys who are B players or C plus players. What do you need me to do? I'll do it. How long do you need me to do it? I'll be in there. I'll hustle. And that's what Boston had this year. It worked. And I know that we want to label, well, is this a dynasty? I think they had the chance to be a dynasty the last 5 years, 6 years. Winning a title doesn't mean you're going to be a dynasty. I think we thought Milwaukee could be a dynasty. I think we thought Denver could be a dynasty. Man, it's tough. And it's going to be tough for Boston again. You can't get greedy, but we do get greedy as fans. Because you got to go back to '08, the last time they won a title. And that's a long time ago. But they've had their opportunities. And it's almost like like the Buffalo Bills. Like they had their opportunity, their window, and then they didn't capitalize on it. Now with Boston, are they going to be a dynasty? Well, their two players are young. Their two stars are young. And because of that, you give them a chance. They're going to be the favorite, coming up next year. DraftKings already has them as the favorites. Then it's Denver, the Thunder, Timberwolves, Bucks, and the Mavs. So let's just look at the East. The only other competition right now is the Bucks. Now you're almost guaranteed you're going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals again if you just play relatively, consistent basketball. But for Jayson Tatum, and we were wondering who benefited the most from winning a title. Well, certainly this guy, Jayson Tatum.
It's a real feeling. Still hasn't really kicked in yet. Just trying, I guess, enjoy the moment. I kept saying, wow. These last 7 years have been a roller coaster, up and down. I had to listen to all the about me, and tonight it was worth it. Oh, my God.
Good for him. Good for him. Yes, he did have to hear it. You get a max contract. You're the best player on your team. We keep waiting for you to win a title. First team All-NBA. Yes, that goes along with the territory here. Now you're okay. Now Jayson Tatum's on scholarship for a little while. Jaylen Brown on scholarship. The Celtics on scholarship here. Brad Stevens, take a victory lap. You did a wonderful job. You know, you go from coaching, go into the front office, and you brought in a sneaky way, Jeff Van Gundy to help Joe Mazzulla as the head coach. Now Van Gundy's going to go to the Clippers to be their top assistant. I think he gets a ring for being a consultant / coach for the Celtics. I hope he does. And now he's going to go to the Clippers. The Celtics gave him a lifeline because ESPN fired him. And all of a sudden, he had to go back into coaching. And now he's back in coaching, and he'll go with Ty Lue and be the first assistant for the Clippers there. A lot of people, Joe Mazzulla benefited. We talked about this when the playoffs started. If they don't win, they may make a change with their head coach. It's like when Mike Budenholzer won a title with the Bucks. He was going to get fired, and eventually got fired. But Joe Mazzulla was on the hot seat. And he was going to get the blame. He was going to be the fall guy, it felt like. Jaylen Brown, your MVP, talking about his teammate, Jayson Tatum.
Yeah, we just take it one game at a time. We started this journey together. We were both drafted here, and we both, have made Boston our home, and we just love getting after it, love growing, love getting better, chasing greatness. So I can't say enough about Jayson Tatum, man. His sacrifice this year, his ability to just be selfless, really showed in the finals, really showed all playoffs, and I'm grateful, man. But I couldn't do it without any of my teammates, and JT, that's my brother for life.
Yes, but it was a total team effort. If I said, that Derek White and Drew Holiday, would they have 20 rebounds?
Yeah.
Combined. So your guards are getting 20 rebounds. And if you watched the game last night, I kept saying, where's Dallas's big men? Can you guys get some rebounds? Can you keep some offensive rebounds? Can you keep it alive? How about defensive rebounds? Boston is a better team, but I don't know if I can go, lack of effort on Dallas's part. I just think when your third best player is P.J. Washington, you got to strengthen the roster here. I don't know if Dallas is going to get back. I think we saw some great things from them. I think they would consider this a good season, maybe a great season that they got to the finals. But if I'm looking at the West, this next season, you're not going to get back, I think, playing that kind of basketball. Because Denver got it just so that it matched up. Minnesota was geared to beat Denver, but Minnesota wasn't geared to beat Dallas. So, matchups are everything. Meanwhile, Boston was geared up to beat anybody. I kept thinking last night, if Denver was in the finals, it'd be a whole lot more entertaining.
Dude, watching this I miss the Denver Nuggets so much this series.
Never more so than last night when I'm going, golly.
I wanted to apologize. I've been taking you guys for granted. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I'm sorry.
Joker's not around. He's not even in the United States, probably.
Can we get a Jamal Murray highlight? Please?
Yeah. Can we do something here? All righty. What's the poll question we're going to go with?
I don't know that the Mavericks made many adjustments last night either. I don't know that if Jason Kidd had a great series or not, but they seem to stick to this one game plan.
How many adjustments can you make?
There has to be something more you can do than either, all right, Kyrie, one of you two guys bring the ball up, we'll set a high screen for you, do your best to get a shot off. There has to be more of a game plan. Everybody else stand clear out.
But they did what they did to get here. And now you're saying, hey, you got to adjust. I don't think they had... it was checkers and chess here.
There's got to be something else you can do other than, we don't have the lob right now. Kyrie, just you figure something out.